I've tried filming this video like 20 times and I keep running out of storage and I don't get how. Anyway, yeah. I'm Nicole and I want to start a YouTube channel, and I didn't want to be that typical like, hi, I'm Nicole and I'm like 17 years old and I'm an Aquarius, so that means I don't get along with Pisces. Like, I don't know, I just didn't want to be that typical like, I don't know, I have nothing against them, like, I'll watch them, but I don't want to be the typical, like, open book, like, here is who I am. I don't know, I guess I want to I want you guys to see my personality rather than just hear it. So, I wanted my first video to be kind of about what content that I'd like to post. And I was like, what should I post? And I was thinking about the card games and everything that I'm into, and I'm like, what better of a story than to talk about like my first video game and my first card game at the same time, and the first one that I really got into, and the tragic story of which, oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. So, I was about 4 years old when I first got into Pokemon, and I played Pokemon Red, and I'm still here. Didn't jump off of a bridge because of Lavender Town. And, so, Pokemon is like the gateway drug of card games. So is Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just, I feel like they're the ones that don't cost an arm and a leg to get into. So, pretty much, my brother was 7 years older than me, so he was about 11 around the time that we first started getting into Pokemon and everything, and so it was kind of like a thing we did together. We'd go to the store and we'd buy card packs. It's like 2 in the morning, don't mind my mumbliness, but we'd go to like Walmart and we'd buy card packs, and my mom would tell us to share, and pretty much he would get all the good cards, I'd get like a Weedle or something, but I didn't really mind it. It was just kind of something I was doing with my brother there for a while, but then it came around Christmas time and we were getting our own separate packs, and we'd both gotten like booster packs and those tin packs, and that's when I started like getting really into it. So I started playing the game. I beat the game multiple times. I loved Pokemon. You slap Pokemon on something and I'll want it. I'll want it more than anything. Like, I'll give my life for it. So, about the time my brother was 13, I had been majorly into it for 2 years. He decided that 13-year-olds are teens, and teens don't play Pokemon. So he was going to clean his room. And by clean his room, he meant that, hey, Mom, I need permission to burn stuff because we have to pay per can for garbage. And she was like, yeah, you can burn stuff. And he started burning all his Pokemon, all his Yu-Gi-Oh!, all his Inuyasha, everything I loved. He just decided he would burn. He thought that that would be a good idea. And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, you're what? No. And I was like outside, pretty much throwing a temper tantrum, because at this point I was like, you are just being plain out wasteful. You are just being terrible. And I was getting ready. I was getting ready for a fight. I was getting ready to throw myself into the fire and save these. My brother ended up burning. Sorry, I got a message. My brother ended up burning cards that cost $100 in like 2002. And he actually burned 3 level X Charizards. Or, well, level 100. Back then it was level 100. And they were Japanese. So, ooh, I was real upset. He was burning everything I had ever loved, everything I had ever asked him for, and he was just burning it. And I was so upset. I was throwing a fit, I was crying, I was screaming, I was like, you'll regret this one day. And I was little, I didn't know how he would regret it one day. I was just like, you'll regret this one day. And I was like 6 years old. I don't even know how I knew to say that, but I did. And turns out, I was right. 6-year-old me was right. Like, 10 years later, I was right. About 2 years ago, maybe like 1.5, I was I was I was sitting so happily but so sad at the same time. My brother and I were sitting in the car and he's like, "Hey, um because we were talking about the new comic shop that opened somewhere." He was like, "By the way, what did you ever do with those Japanese Charizards I gave you? Because you knew I had a whole binder of Pokemon cards, and they were all first gen." And he was like, "Because I'm curious about those. My brother is such an Indian giver. It's ridiculous. Like, he thought he gave them to me so he could hold on to them until they had value. Well, now they're worth like $1,000 each, and in our area specifically, the card shop owner was like, I could give you like 1,500 for them each easily." And I was like, "You don't remember? You don't remember what you did?" And he's like, "What did I do?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't remember me begging you not to throw them onto the fire?" And that's when it clicked. So, moral of the story is, you can throw away your Beanie Babies, but hold on to things that may have a fan base in like 20 billion years. That's all I can say, is that, maybe instead of hanging on to things that have estimated value in the future, other than like a car, like that's different, but if something is made to be a collectible, unless they only make a certain amount of each one, it's probably not going to be worth jack. So don't go burning your Pokemon cards because you think in 5 years no one's going to care, and keep your Beanie Babies. I still have Beanie Babies. My mom forced Beanie Babies onto me. I was like, "No thank you." I have one of those Princess Diana ones now that's worth like $60 each. I don't know. I have a few of those. I mean, hey, if I went home, I would have like $130 or whatever because of the other random ones that I have that are worth like 20 cents each. Just, moral of the story, maybe listen to your 6-year-old sister, maybe be a nicer person, be more giving, and in the end, you'll get back.